My skin is trying to recover and balance and it just all goes haywire. So I figured, hey, hydration and ceramides in one spray, what's not to love? But didn't really work out for me. Hey everyone, today is a video about hits and misses in Korean skincare at the moment. There are some products that I bought all in Korea whilst I was there a few months ago, and some of them have been amazing and some of them have just missed the mark. I'm Dr. Sapna. I'm a doctor who loves skincare and loves dermatology. I suffer with acne, and that makes me the perfect person to talk about it. So let's get started. I just want to say a special thanks to the backdrop today. It's not a backdrop, it's the view from my apartment in Adelaide, and I get lots of messages about this because some people think it's fake. Oh God, it is not fake. We live in an amazing apartment and I'm really grateful that the sun is out today, the sky is super blue, and that makes my videos look really good without me having to do too much work. So I'm really grateful for that. I know loads of people have had questions about it, but yeah, it's just the view from my apartment. So yeah, let's talk a bit more about Korean skincare. I've got a couple of different products I'm gonna run through. Korean skincare and Asian skincare in general has just taken over the skincare industry. I don't think I'll look back now that I've tried all these amazing products. They tend to be at a better price point than some of the bigger, more well-known brands from Europe or America, so I'm absolutely converted for it. I would just generally recommend exploring those ranges just for some exciting creative skincare that's coming out. As with a lot of my videos, these products are just my recommendations. This has not been sponsored at all. I purchased all these products when I was in Korea, but I know you can get them from various Korean beauty suppliers across the world. By the way, I'm going to leave links to all these products in the description box below. I'll put a number on the screen so that you can find the links really easily. So I'm going to start with my first hit for the day. This is the CosRx Propolis Synergy Toner. Now, almost everyone has heard of CosRx because of their snail mucin range, but they have loads of other products. And I was really drawn to this Propolis toner. Now, in Korea, there is a big emphasis on just using hydrating toners and building them up in your skincare routine. So when I saw this on the shelves there for a really affordable price, I really wanted to try it. Propolis is essentially something that comes from bees. It's actually something that bees use as part of their bee hives to maintain the structure of their hives. It is a bit like honey. It has reparative anti-inflammatory properties. Now this is a very liquid toner. I kind of like the liquid toners these days just because you can layer them really easily and they are super hydrating. So I'll just show you. Oop, I've made a mess already. Oh God, I've spilt some. You can see it's super watery and runny. Now, I really like this toner. You can use it all on your face. And what's great is that I can use it literally every day with no issues. Whether or not you're using any other actives, you can still use this. So I'm always very careful if I'm using prescription retinoids. I want to be very gentle with the rest of my skincare, and this goes really well. This is a really excellent, maybe lightweight alternative compared to the snail mucin. So if that snail mucin stuff, the mess, is not your cup of tea, give this a go. It's very lightweight. It's still a tiny bit tacky, and it does just sink in, and when you put moisturizer on top, you don't get any pilling, no troubles, but it does work really well just to hydrate and lift your skin a bit. This is an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. I would very much consider repurchasing it when I get to the bottom. We'll see how we feel, but the only reason I wouldn't is just because I know there are lots of different types of toners a bit like this that I'd like to try. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, definitely hit the subscribe button. I release videos every week talking about skincare and dermatology, so if that's what you like, definitely hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up below. Next up, I've got another viral K-beauty product. It's the Dark Spot Correcting Glow Serum. Now, this is from a brand called Axis Y. Again, they've got loads and loads of products, but this has been standing out on all the shelves. I've seen loads and loads of people talking about it. So when I saw it on sale in Korea, I just knew I had to try it. One thing I love about Korean skincare is the emphasis on just using what you need and not using too many strong, harsh actives. Now this product is focused on using niacinamide. It's got 5% niacinamide, and that is what I love. 5% niacinamide has been shown to be just as effective as 10% niacinamide in all the trials. There are very few trials that actually explore high percentages of niacinamide, basically saying that you don't necessarily need the high percentages. You still will get good results with 5%. So this has 5% niacinamide mixed with squalane. It also has some allantoin and few other calming ingredients. So it's another very, very lightweight gel kind of serum. My hand is going to look very, very smooth and pretty after this. But you can see that it just goes in almost like water or gel, and sinks in a few seconds. Again, something that mixes really, really well with those lightweight gel moisturizers. Perfect if you've got acne and acne scarring and you just want to target that. Now, niacinamide does help with some dark spots, but it's also really good at just calming any inflammation as well. I just got on really, really well with this. You can see I've used maybe a third of it. There's still lots left. This tube does go a long way. Now, what's interesting about the kind of branding for this, it's part of the 6+1+1 range. And I looked up what that actually meant, and they basically have 6 core ingredients, 1 core active and then 1 high-tech active is kind of how they describe it. Doesn't really make sense to me as a branding campaign. I don't understand why they don't just call it 8 active ingredients, purely because all the other products in the range have different ingredients, so it's not like they have the same core 8. So it's a slightly confusing kind of branding around it. However, this product is still really, really good. I just think it's another one that anyone can use, and you can use it every day without causing any irritation to your skin, especially if you end up with a 5% one. And there are so many different benefits you can get, especially if you've got acne prone skin. This is really good for calming your inflammation as well as helping with the appearance of those enlarged pores. I'll link here a recent video going into a lot of depth about the different research about niacinamide. So if you are interested in a bit more science about what niacinamide does for your skin, definitely check that out. I'll go on to one more here and then I'll go on to the misses. Next up, I've got the Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel from Isntree. I've literally almost gotten to the bottom of this. There's mostly air in here now, but I really have fallen in love with Korean sunscreens this year. There are so many different choices, and I mean like a ridiculous number of brands who are doing it, and they all are SPF 50. They're really, really protective, but also always lightweight and easy to just absorb into your skin. That's something that I really struggled with. I struggled to find an SPF that wouldn't leave a white cast, but also reasonably affordable. I've just really bored with some of the over-the-counter like pharmacy brands. La Roche-Posay, like they do have 1 or 2 good products, but like I've tried so many that are misses and I'm just kind of bored of those. Instead, I have fallen in love with this Korean sunscreen, and I think you should try them too. Now this one is super lightweight. I'll see if I've got any left. And you can see that it is initially white, and then you just massage it in and it just disappears and sinks in. It does leave your skin a tiny bit glowy, which I love, but it leaves no white cast and protects your skin. And it's crazy that that is so hard to find. I think there are so many different options when you look in Korea, but this one is something that I'd recommend to try. What's great is that it does have a few different types of hyaluronic acid in it, and I think that is what maintains some of the moisture throughout the day. Now next up are a few misses. Some of these are popular, some of these are things I just took a chance on when I was in the shops in Korea, just because they sounded like they'd be perfect and they just haven't really hit the mark for me. Starting out with this Perfect Whip Beauty Foam Cleanser. Now, this is something that is actually super popular in Japan, and I didn't realize that it wasn't Korean. It is in fact Japanese, but I included it in this video because I did buy it when I was in Korea. It's super, super popular in Korea as well. And it's still kind of under the Asian beauty umbrella. But yes, it is definitely Japanese, not Korean. And I really wanted to fall in love with this. It's described as being a foaming cleanser, but still leaves your skin hydrated. And it is definitely foaming, so like a little bit goes a really long way. You don't need much of this, and it just completely spreads all over your face and cleans your skin. It definitely cleans your skin well. That's something that I don't have any doubt about. I still just found it a little bit dehydrating. I wanted it to be a bit like the Hada Labo foaming cleanser that was just a bit more gentle, whereas this still feels a bit stripping. It feels like it has a bit too many sort of surfactants, almost soap-like feeling, and a bit stripping on the skin. I used it for a couple of weeks, and then I actually gave it to my husband, who is still using it, and he has no problems. His skin is very, very resilient, and he generally just will use whatever I put in his bathroom. So I don't think it's going to waste in our house, but it was just a little bit too stripping for me. Now, again, I'm using quite strong active ingredients, particularly using prescription retinoids, and I think this was just a bit too much for my skin. I find that when my skin is like over dehydrated from a cleanser, it actually gets oilier throughout the day because my skin is trying to recover and balance, and it just all goes haywire. So I actually think it's best to just stick to a gentle cleanser. For me, this was just a bit too much. Next up is this Cica Relief Calming Cream from a brand called Real Barrier. Now, this on paper sounded like my cup of tea. It's got 5% niacinamide and Senka. Senka is the same as Centella Asiatica, which is a very gentle, soothing ingredient in skincare. It's been made very, very popular by brands like Dr. Jart, like that whole green range, the whole Senka Plast range. It all has Senka plant in it, Centella Asiatica. Now, this is a brand that I saw there, and I just thought it'd be something that would be very, very soothing after you have some inflamed pimples or something like that. The whole focus, again, is on barrier repair, which is something that I'm really interested in because I think there are so many hidden benefits for acne prone skin. So yeah, I saw this on the shelves and I was like, cool, sold, I want it. And I have given it quite a number of chances and it's just not something I reach for. And I just found that it was a tiny bit too thick. I thought it was gonna be a bit more like a gel kind of moisturizer, but it's got this very, very silicone feel to it. It does feel a bit gel, but it's also got like a big like creamy component to it. What I find happens is that when you apply it, it applies really like reasonably well. It's quite thick. You can see it's taking a while to moisturize in, which isn't a problem when you're looking for a very hydrating, like thick moisturizer that you want to use to just kind of repair your barrier. But because it's got this kind of silicone feel to it, it does leave your skin looking a little bit matte, but it also then just absorbs really, really quickly. And then in like an hour or two, I'm left feeling still quite dehydrated. And it's very, very weird because it feels very thick when you put it on initially. And after a few hours, it just disappears and doesn't leave any hydration on your skin. Like even now already, it's starting to sink in and I can see that my skin is gonna feel dry again in a few hours, which is not what you want from like a barrier repairing moisturizer. If I used it overnight, I would expect to be kind of glowing and hydrating the next day like some of my other thick moisturizers, but this just doesn't cut it for me. If you've got redness and you want to find a moisturizer that maybe you can use in the mornings during the day underneath makeup, because it does have a slightly like primer kind of matte silicone feel to it. But again, I wouldn't reach for this at nighttime as like a big hydrating, soothing night cream like I wanted it to be. There are so many other options out there and I would not pick this. Next up, I have the Ampoule Ceramide spray. Now this is a ceramide mist or spray. I really wanted something out there that I could just spray on top of my skin that would just like hydrate and boost my skin. I'm always craving like really, really lightweight hydrating mists. A bit like the toners, I really want something that I can just layer up as much as I want and even apply like over makeup or something. And I really wanted this to be it. And I saw that there was loads of these products out there all talking about ceramides. And I love ceramides. It is perfect for helping repair your skin. So I figured, hey, hydration and ceramides in one spray, what's not to love? But didn't really work out for me. You can see that it's a little bit like milky when you see what it looks like on the inside. I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's like a little bit milky. And I should have kind of realized that it was gonna be a bit thick and not like super water-based and hydrating. So I'll show you what it kind of sprays like on your skin. And again, it looks quite lightweight, but then you kind of just put it in and it becomes like, it just ends up feeling quite thick and you can't just spray it on your face. It kind of just comes and dries down as a bit of a thick moisturizer. Again, some people might want this, but if you're looking for that like hydrating mist, and that's what the purpose of a mist is for me, but for me, this just wasn't like lightweight and watery enough. It was just a bit too thick, which meant that I couldn't use it like just before serums because it felt like it was too much and wouldn't let my serums sort of sit and penetrate into my skin as well. You can use this to kind of boost your moisturizer right at the end of your skincare routine, but it's just not what I was looking for. I think that it does have some hydrating and skin healing benefits, but it's just not as lightweight as I really wanted it. So this again was a miss for me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was just a rundown of my mini reviews for a few hits and a few misses that I bought in Korea. I'm gonna link a recent video talking all about Hada Labo products. It's a Japanese skincare brand that has taken over the world, and a few months ago I did a full brand review, so if you're interested, check that out. I hope that video was useful. Definitely leave me a comment below if you've tried these before or have any other Korean beauty favorites. Thanks for watching.